What is the one thing I need to do right now to help my teenager? Is it more boundaries, more rules? Is it harder discipline? These are the questions I get asked from parents on the daily, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to help your teenager the most. My name is Jordan, the Teen Mentor, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I've told thousands of parents and teenagers to become more healthier, happier, and more purposeful in their life. And I tell you what, it's not about being perfect, it's more about being present. And the reason I say presence is more important is because there is so much more to be said about a parent who is intentional and present than a parent who is trying to do everything perfectly. Now, when I talk about being present, I don't talk about hovering around and being that annoying parent that kind of sits there in the room and tries to spend all the time with our teenagers. It is more about just being intentional, emotionally available, and having that energy around which says, I know you're going to go and do your thing, but whenever you need me, I'll always be here. That doesn't mean that you have to be there every second of every day and following them around. That kind of gets weird and they'll get annoyed at you. But it's also being like, you know what, if you were to call me, I'll be here to help you. If you have to send that text to me, I'll be there to reply. And if you want someone who just needs to be there on the weekend to help you with your friends, I'll be that person too. And now I know this seems like it could be almost hovering and things like that, but it's actually not. That's helicopter parenting. That is something completely different and not something we want to take on. Helicopter parenting is following them around, trying to fix everything that happens, trying to tell them how it is, and trying to make sure that they completely stay out of danger by being overprotective. All this is going to do is push away our teens, and that's not exactly what we want to be doing. We want them to feel like they're going to be supported, they have autonomy, independence, and just know that they've got that love and support whenever they need it. So why is presence so important for teenagers? I tell you what, it's a massive part of helping them to shape their identity and it's releasing like pressure off them at times and helping them to feel like they, even they're going to have emotional swings, that it's not going to say that we're going to move away if they start being angry or showing these big emotions and things like that. When parents are present, our teenagers have their nervous system completely slow down. It helps them stay calm, helps them build trust, and this communication opens up more pathways for them. Because when we have this presence, those conversations that you've been struggling to have at times where things are stressful, we're really busy, there's more opportunity for that. Because a lot of the time, teenagers don't just express themselves when they, like when we ask them to. They don't work like a tap. You don't just turn them on and then suddenly have all these amazing insights happen straight away. No, teenagers, they're almost like, we'll call it just like a dripping tap. It's turned on a little bit. You don't know when it's going to drip, but it will drip. And you need to be there to catch it when that does drip. So the thing is, when it comes to being parent, is that we're not always going to be able to be there to regulate their emotions all the time, but we're there to catch them in some moments when they do come up. And being a presence, having strong presence, is a great stabilizer in what can be a very chaotic world for our teenagers. So the reason why I say parenting is more about being present and that sometimes I have that dripping tap is because teenagers rarely say, come and sit with me, I really need to tell you this. A lot of time they're going to show it through different signs like irritation, being withdrawn, having, being quite sarcastic at times and pushing away because sometimes they have something they really want to get off their chest and them showing you that irritation is almost like them saying, I've got this really difficult thing that I need to tell you and I don't really want to tell you what, but I kind of do. And so I'm going to try and push you away and to test you to say like, even if I do something bad or this thing is bad, will you still be around when I tell it to you? And if you can show them that irritation, that withdrawal, that sarcasm is okay, it's just part of being a teenager at times, then you'll get them to have confidence in you and some trust in you so that they can open up about that thing and we can kind of work on it from there. So what does presence look like in real life? Well, presence doesn't always require long conversations. It can be just a couple words here and there. It can be putting your arm around them. It can be driving them somewhere without pressure to talk. It can be sitting in the same room quietly, just hanging out. opposite end of the lounge, whatever it is, and just hang out there. Sometimes just putting a phone down and just being, I'm here. I'm just gonna sit here and just, exist with you. By your side, we don't know to say anything, but I'll be here when you're ready to talk. Some of the most powerful things you can say to your teenager is just saying, look, I know you may not be ready to talk about it, but I'm here when you are. Or take your time. I'm just gonna sit here and listen. I remember some of the best conversations that I've actually had with my dad over the years have been when I've had something really challenging to say, and he kind of just gets a sense of that. And I sit here at the table and I just ramble. I just talk and he sits there completely silent, not saying anything. And then suddenly I finish and I feel better. And I'm like, you know what? I know the answer. No one needs to explain it because I just talk my way through it. And he goes, how do you feel about that? I'm like, yeah, pretty good actually. Thank you. That's all we need. And that is going to help me more so than ever. And that, that's just teenagers. Teenagers sometimes don't want to be told what to do. They know what to do. They just want someone to hear it and have that sounding board. So one of the biggest mistakes I think we all make is just trying to play everything down to logic. Like they're coming to me with this problem, so therefore I need to solve it. Or I'm the protector, so therefore I need to protect them from this thing that's happening. Well, a lot of the time it just needs to be. They need to feel that emotion. They need to understand what it is. They know how to fix it. Because if you start trying to fix and tell them what to do, teenagers are going to shut down, they're going to close doors, they're going to try and handle things alone a lot of the time, when in fact they really just need someone to kind of listen to them and stuff like that. So presence builds resilience. And when I say presence builds resilience, it's about helping them to understand that emotions are safe, problems can be managed, and they're not alone no matter how much they feel like they are. Because they don't need the perfect response, they just need you to stay there. So if you're a parent who feels like they're failing, try not to, because this stuff is hard. And trying to find the perfect response is basically impossible. And there's going to be times where you're going to miss that sign. But that's just why we need to be present and aware and trying to figure it out as we go. Teenager that I've started working with recently, him and his mum were very disagreeable about many things. And when I kind of spoke to the son and I spoke to the mum, I was like, you guys actually talk about the same thing in pretty much the same way, just like different words. And so what I started to do is trying to correct those words, well, try and manage the words so they kind of match more. And I said, okay, this is what we spoke about today. I want you guys to talk about this in the car ride on the way home. Came back, everyone's happy. And I didn't need to do that much. I just needed to make sure that the mum was listening to the signs and the teenager was able to understand the perspective of the mum. And just through that simple shift, just by being present and listening into the conversation and just understanding a couple of those nuances, which sometimes get missed when we're not present, it basically helps completely. And now they get along fine. He gets to, play some games and stuff like that. And mum gets and he does the chores for his mum. Happy days. Everyone gets what they want. So one of the main things I want you to leave with today is that teenagers aren't going to remember every single rule or lecture or, that thing that you've been trying to tell them for a long time. But they will see your actions, they'll feel your presence, and that's more important. Because if they can feel safe around you, if they feel like they can open up around you, and they feel like you're going to be there no matter what, that is what's going to make a massive difference in their life. And they're the things which matter well into adulthood. Those things are going to matter the most. So if this resonated with you, I want you to be able to share this with another parent. I want you to write some things down, put your phone down, spend that extra time with your teenager. Just keep a slightly more open mind for what they're saying next time. And sometimes just say nothing. Just sit there, nod your head. Okay, cool. And just see where that takes you. If you want to jump into a community with other like-minded parents who are creating calm from their house of chaos, jump into our group below, get involved, and start seeing what kind of household you can bring to your teenager where safety, respect, and purpose are big parts of the home. All right, until next time.